Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. We are back at Suzuka again with the Audi RE LMS. Let's get this started. Quick note, so I personally find the RE LMS to be a little weird when it comes to braking in turns like these. So when I did the lap, the best way I was able to approach this turn was to give quick short bursts of braking and just be aware about how much braking you're releasing. That way you don't get the car to slide too much. So once you're done with all that, you can start to fully accelerate once you're passing this green area that is on your right. The S's you're about to enter are all about throttle control. Go at under half throttle for most of these turns, and on the straight parts of course go at full throttle. But for this fourth turn that you're about to approach right here, you want to barely put any throttle at all. You can use a tiny amount of braking to adjust your car, but you don't even have to do that at all if necessary. Ease off the throttle as you approach this turn, and once you pass the apex, you want to slowly start to accelerate your way out. You can nearly go full throttle, but just ease off just a tiny bit of it, just in case your car is starting to understeer onto the off-track area. Brake before you reach the 50-meter mark. You can take advantage of the curb in this upcoming apex right here, but make sure you don't go at full throttle as you exit, so that way you don't end up on the green area and potentially lose control. Brake before the curb ends on the left, and you can start to go at half throttle once you hit the curb. Then once your car is starting to face towards the next section of the track, you can then go at full throttle. Start to brake as soon as you're passing the end of the curb that is on the right. So for this car, it has fantastic acceleration, so you want to kind of do like a sharp-ish U-turn, and once the car is starting to face towards the next section of the track, you can start to fully accelerate. Start to brake before you approach the path that is on your right. So you want to be careful with this turn, as it's kind of easy to overshoot it with this car, and you can start to fully accelerate once you exit the turn, but you'll want to start to brake shortly after, so that way you can start to hug the inside of the turn. Slowly start to accelerate once you pass the end of the curb that is on the left. The 50-meter board that is on your right will be your turning point. Once you start to turn, ease out the throttle almost all the way, so that way your car has some flexibility to turn and start to accelerate once you're past that apex. For these last two turns, brake in between the 150 and the 100-meter mark. You can briefly accelerate at full throttle in between the turns. Once your car stabilizes after you pass the final turn, you can start to fully accelerate and you are good to go. Non-commentary versions coming up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. This is Mr. MCA, the world's most okay player, and I'll see you in the next video.